Welcome to another Crittenden Press news video. We have with us today the Superintendent of Schools, Tonya Driver. Tonya Nation to anybody that went to school with her maiden name.
Right.
When I first came to Crittenden County, you were a student out at the school, and very, very smart, very intelligent student. So you've done very well with that. And congratulations, by the way, on becoming the first female superintendent that graduated from Crittenden County, right?
First female student.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had John Belt,
Yes.
who spent a couple of years as superintendent.
3.
Was it 3 years? I couldn't remember. So, but he had been a Crittenden County student as well. But other than that, the second ever to ascend to the top position in the school. So congratulations.
That's exciting. Thank you.
And I'm sure you feel some weight of that right now, particularly with school starting.
Ooh, with school starting, it's definitely a busy time for all of us. Really busy.
So we'll just kind of get right into some of the nuts and bolts, and I know a lot of the people out there enjoy hearing from the superintendent here right as school begins, and we'll just touch on some topics and things that people might be interested here to begin. I know the past several weeks the school district has had advertisements in our newspaper looking for school bus drivers. That's nothing new for the past several years, and it's nothing that happens only in Crittenden County. This is a pervasive problem across the nation. So,
Yes, it is.
what are you doing and to deal with the shortage of bus drivers? Just consolidating routes.
Well, we've had 2 routes consolidated that we wanted to actually bring back this year, and we're not able to bring those back. So those are going to remain the same.
Just because you don't have enough drivers?
We don't have enough drivers. We only have enough drivers to drive our routes. Our substitute drivers right now are coaches and teachers, and we're hoping that they will be able to help us out some when there's sickness. But we're going to be struggling this year with everything, and we're going to do our best to get all of the students home. For an incentive for bus drivers, we have put in an attendance incentive for them, $500 incentive per semester for perfect attendance, and $250 for less than 3 days of absence. And we've also put in, or we'll be putting that in tonight, $250 referral payment to any of our employees that refers someone to be a bus driver, and they actually become a bus driver.
You know, I was talking with Wayne Winters yesterday, who is your director of transportation at school, and he said also something that a lot of potential bus drivers out there may not understand is that this is not just a 4-hour day job. It's not 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. Now, it can be if that's what you prefer.
Right,
but there
absolutely.
are options for filling the gap as an employee at the school district, doing something else during the day.
Yes.
So you do get a full-time job, so to speak. But even if you're working 4 hours a day as a bus driver, you're classified as full-time. So you get all the benefits.
Full benefits, retirement.
So it's a pretty good job, particularly if you need some insurance too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But if you want your middle of your days free as well.
Yeah.
So and I know if anybody's interested in that, contact the school district. Talk to Wayne Winters out at the bus garage. Or maybe you want to talk to one of your teacher friends because they can get a $250 referral if you want to do that first. So sounds like things are going positive in that direction. But what do you see? I mean, if this does not get any better, what is the future of transportation in the school district? Is it going to get to a point we have to have pickup points or drop points?
Well, obviously, we hope not. We hope we can turn it around before then, but pickup points would be an option for sure. And then some of the routes becoming double routes would
Where you
become
go
an
back,
option.
make a circle
like
back,
some of the
pick-
shorter routes where
I got you.
we pick up one route, take them home, and then we go and we pick up another route,
Gosh.
which would put kids home later
And getting on the bus earlier as well, because you have to start earlier. Yeah.
So we've tried to avoid that, but we're going to have to put a plan together just in case it's used. I know some of the school districts that have already started school have already had to call parents for routes and say, can you bring your kid to school, or can you pick them up? And I just want our Crittenden County folks to know that that will probably happen for us too. But when we call, we'll be asking if they'll be able to pick them up. And if they're not able to do that, then we'll be sending a district vehicle, because there's several of us that can drive the district vehicles, and we can pick up and take home with that. So it's not going to just shut down all ways of transportation for the child to get to school.
And I know the situation with a lot of the bridges in the community being reduced weight limits has also created some transportation challenges, I guess you might say. But this is a critical situation with transportation in school districts all over the country, and it's a critical situation that's not going to get any better until we really mobilize people to come back and become school bus drivers. So good luck on that, and we'll always try to help wherever we can.
Thank you.
COVID, we finally have removed the mask, so to speak, and big breath.
Yes, that's awesome.
So what is that going to look like? COVID is still a virus out there. It's still a concern. What does that look like now, as far as if someone has it? What is the protocol for schools?
If someone has it, then they obviously need to go home, stay home. And our protocol is going to be 24 hours fever-free without the aid of fever-reducing medications, and they'll be able to come back.
My, what a difference a couple of years makes.
Yes. It went from 10 days, 14 days to 10 days to 5 days. So
that was after the nuclear suit you wore for a few days if you had it. And,
exactly,
you were shunned by your family and neighbors, But fortunately, we feel like we've gotten past the big problem with COVID. Now it does still exist.
Oh, it does. We've got employees right now, that are dealing with it. It's just one of those things. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, and it's still a threat to lives of those who are compromised, immunocompromised. So we want to keep that in mind as well. You've had a lot of construction going on at the school, and a lot of talk of more construction. You've got what you expected to be some construction in front of the middle school and high school that has not come to pass at this point. So talk a little bit about the renovation. I've walked through the school. I visited out there with your principal at the high school the other day, Ms. Termis, and she took me on a little tour. And talk about that, and then we'll talk about the turning lane that is coming, we hope, and then maybe briefly on the middle school project.
Okay. Well, we've had phase 2 renovation at the high school this summer, and it's gone really well. For the first time, we are equipped with an elevator at the high school, so that's awesome to have that. To have 2 stories and not have an elevator was not good. We needed to do that. We have added a bathroom at the nurses station, a nice bathroom there, single-use bathroom. We've remodeled the bathrooms in the downstairs and in the upstairs. They're very, very nice. And then we have taken 2 rooms, 2 science rooms. One of them was a larger science area than the other, and we've made them even with new lab furnitures and
very state of the art.
Very state of the art.
Really
yes,
it's neat. The science students are really going to love this. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we're thrilled about that.
Yeah. Has there been any additional beefing up of security or anything in light of all? I know you just got out of the active shooter training out to school. I was out there for that, which is such a a terrible thing to even have to deal with.
is.
But is there anything with improved security or anything like that going on this year?
We have Miss Lesby is our safe schools coordinator, and she and Brian Kirby, our maintenance, and I went around with the principals and we did a safety check on all of the exterior doors. So we have a list of those that we're working on getting fixed. We had one that we wanted to get just totally replaced, and then we had some areas that we kind of felt like you could see in the school when kids were passing by. So we want to get some more of those vinyl letters. You've seen them at the high school, but we'll put them in some different places to keep from having areas where someone can see directly into the school. You can see out with those, but they can't see in. We're always looking for things to help with safety. We're currently looking at I guess you would call it a tool called Open Gate. It's it's not a metal detector, but it's just some bars that you can walk between, and it'll register. You can set it as sensitive or as unsensitive as you want. You always set it for guns, obviously. But then you can set it sensitive enough that it'll pick up vapes too. So
And that's been an issue.
the vapes, when we talk about safety and security, vapes always comes to my mind too, because we don't need to have any kind of vapes in school, but when you have vapes that have other drugs inside of them, then that's
Illegal type
compounded.
drugs,
Yes. So we're looking toward that. We've even talked to Crittenden County tomorrow about maybe helping us with that. We are going to be bringing back, I believe, the drug dogs to be going through the schools and the parking lots and everything like that. I think our kids just need to be aware that something could happen that day. There would be something that might catch them, so just don't bring it in the building. Don't bring it.
Don't bring it to campus. Period.
Don't bring it to campus. Not in your car.
Well, don't have it at home either.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't have it at home, but don't bring it to school.
Yeah, we're looking for it there. Yeah, good. And then the highway project we had believed would be finished, or at least mostly finished by the time school started, where they're going to put in a turning lane, widen the highway there, which is Gum Street / US 60 West, and that's gotten delayed. And so what's your understanding of how that's going to go down at this point?
At this point, it's got to be bid again. It's already been bid out twice. Once it was bid in conjunction with another project, and no one bid on it. So then they had to redo the process and bid it out as a single project. And at that time, we had one person to bid on it. It came, the bid came in 25% above what they were expecting it to do. So the state wouldn't approve.
Surprise, right?
Yeah, the state wouldn't approve that amount of money. So we're really back to the drawing board on being able to bid that and hopefully get some bids in here that are that we're able to do.
And of course, that is a Kentucky Transportation Cabinet project, and these are their bids; they aren't school bids. But so the timeline on this, we're looking at probably maybe next summer, right? Or are they thinking about maybe trying to do it while school's in session?
They are thinking about doing it while school's in session.
Yeah. Of course, so we don't have much of a window left, I guess, in the construction period. I think maybe up to around November. And I don't know, they might be able to do some of that other prep work.
Right, I'm not sure.
But
we've had a lot of the utilities and things moving. Lots of things have happened in preparation for it to come.
Well, that will be another challenge if you have construction in front of an area that's already congested, won't it?
Well, yeah, that would be probably.
Yeah. Well,
But we're looking at a plan that they drew up for us in 2015, and we kind of just passed it over, but it's kind of been resurrected now, and it would be building.
That's on the middle school.
It would be building the middle school around, and on top there would be a part of it on top of the current 6th grade wing,
the newer wing,
and then just tearing down the rest of the middle
oldest
school.
wing built in 1947, I believe. And the beauty of this plan, it's my understanding that it would allow you to keep that old wing in action, so to speak, while the construction is going on, so it wouldn't displace those students. And then once the new part of the school is built, then you wipe that part out. And then what would go right there? Would it just be green space, or is that still?
I think probably green space to start out
Yeah.
with. It would be that or parking eventually, I would think.
Yeah. Well, I know this has been a very up and down situation for not only the school administrators and teachers about this. We're going to build a new high school. We're going to have a new football field and all this. And then you think about the people who didn't want to lose the old nostalgic football field, and so emotions have been up and down and all over the board, I guess, with this. And now we're kind of money. It's everything's about money, right?
Everything is about our bonding potential and being able to handle that project, because we would like to not bond out our whole bonding potential on a project, but at the same time we have a priority to get kids out of that 1947-49 middle school. And it looks good. If you go in the middle school, it looks good. Our maintenance, our custodians, our teachers, everybody does a great job of keeping it up and maintaining it. It's just a lot with the infrastructure that's not there. We're a 1-to-1 Chromebook district. You can't charge them all. No. It's just not enough there. The cooling and the heating system that's in there needs to be revised and updated. And so we just really hate to spend any more money on the middle school when we think we'll be able to build a new middle school. That old middle school is the chiller is supposed to last, I think Mr. Binkley told me the chiller was supposed to last 25 years and it's on year 30. So, we're
borrowed time.
Mm-hmm.
If any of our viewers don't understand what bonding potential or bonding capacity means, is that's basically the school's credit limit. A lot of people do not understand that term and understand what it means to the school district.
It's hard to understand.
Yeah, and the more debt they pay off on some of the previous construction, the more capacity they have to get more credit. So, and it's a balance on what you can afford to do, and you don't want to use all of it sometimes because you may have a chiller that goes out.
Right, exactly.
And you need to borrow some money, so to speak. And it's you can't take out a loan, a conventional loan as a school district. You have to sell bonds, and then people can buy the bonds. But that's how all projects are funded or financed, I might say. And one other thing you mentioned about how nice the school. I had a gentleman, a friend of mine, who actually works in another community and goes into a good number of schools around West Kentucky. and he was telling me about that old wing. He said, it really needs to be replaced, and I understand it, but it's nicer than schools that I have gone through that were built 10, 15 years ago because it's well maintained. It's just well maintained and has been.
Yeah.
So kudos to that outfit that takes care of all that.
Our custodial and maintenance crews through the years, they're second to none. They take care of it all.
What other issues? I know you're getting your teachers. They're all on campus. I think this week, right?
Yes, starting Tuesday. I think
they've been on campus, and you're getting them prepared for moving forward. And are there any things that maybe new or different that you can tell our viewers about today?
Well, everything's new and different. It seems like
post-COVID, right? Yeah.
With the post-COVID and with central office, we're most of us are either new or in new positions.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot new. We've got a lot of new faces as far as teachers and counselors, and we're excited about all of that. We have paid attention to the surveys that we sent out whenever I was first. I first got the superintendent position, and we have put into place several things because of that survey. With one of them being, we had a lot of complaints on there of when a nurse sends a kid home, that the next day they are not excused by the nurse. And so we've put it in the policy now where the nurse can excuse it for that day. It's going to be following the temperature guidelines. If they don't have a temperature, then we wouldn't necessarily excuse them for that day. But if they do have a temperature the following, or 24 hours temperature free, then that would count as another nurse excuse. So we've done a few things like that to try to make it better.
One of the simplest things to answer, I guess, and one of the most simplest questions is, what time does school start and what time does it end? Because every year at the first of the year, people say, what time do we have to be there? I know my children are, I forgot, what time do we have to be there? So
there's so much to that, getting everything constructed to where everything lines up exactly. And of course, Diana Lesby is our main person on point with that. But 7:55 is our morning
bell, I guess, first one.
Yeah. And then 3:00 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, anything else, Miss Driver? Superintendent Driver, I should say now, I guess.
I just want everybody to know that I have an open door.
Yeah.
I want to be available for questions and help in any way that I can, and I'll be seeing everybody out in the community. But if they ever need to contact me, my contact information is out there, and I'm glad to work with anybody.
It's great to have grown up in the community that you work in and are professional in. It's also sometimes can be a curse, I guess, because you can't ever leave your job because you go to the grocery stores here. But that's what people like. People like to have their people in leadership. They need to be from here, and particularly in the school district. And people appreciate that. So, and we appreciate you, and we thank you for coming on and kind of briefing us on getting back to school. And school starts on Monday.
On Monday. We have opening day tomorrow for our staff, and then kids will be here with us on the 29th.
Monday the 29th. So kids, pack those lunch boxes and get ready to go. And we appreciate, again, Miss Tonya Driver, Superintendent of Schools, being here. Thank you.